Welcome to the GFSSL League. I'm here with the owner, the commissioner of the GFSSL NCAA League, Mr. B1rdHuman. How are you doing, man?
What's up, man? Doing really well. Just looking forward to this interview and, answer whatever questions you have. So let's get.
Sounds great. Let's get it going. So we're in the second year of the GFSSL NCAA League. And last year we had Miami win a championship. This year seems like he's on another good run. But as far as what you've been able to see from, the users, maybe how the league has been flowing, even with maybe a little bit of the CPU versus users rules, how are you feeling as far as this league as a whole moving into the second year? Well, actually third year after the second year. How are you feeling so far as the status of the league?
Yeah, so Miami made a great run in the playoff last year and won the national championship. He actually just got knocked off in the ACC title game this season. So I think it's really anyone's, championship to win. And I think that's a good thing about the league that we have. We have a lot of users that have been around for a while in our Madden League and a bunch of new guys who seem to be really fitting in well. And it's really competitive. There's not really any one or two teams that have been dominant. It's just everyone's had their chance and everyone's been beating everyone else. So I really like where we are right now. And, the computer took care of a couple of people during the season, myself included. Which, kept me out of the ACC championship game. But, I think that's a good thing. You don't want everyone to win every single computer game. You want some to be close and competitive to really keep your interest and keep people moving. And I think we've done a good job of that so far. So I'm really happy with where we stand so far.
I agree with you 100%. I feel like the computer deserve some respect, and they deserve a fair shot. I mean, hey, we over here in the Big 12 had the Arizona State pretty much take over, We played the Arizona State computer, in the conference championship. So that definitely says a lot about it being fair. I think it even knocked OJ out, But moving forward, are there any rule changes that you would like to tweak maybe in the future? I see that we do have a lot of active discussions as far as rules go. Are there anything that you think we need to change, or do you like where it's at moving forward to year 3?
Yeah, so there's actually going to be two pretty decent changes coming for season 3. One, we're going to move the 4th down and 2 rule from the opposing 40-yard line back to midfield. So if you're over midfield on 4th and 2, you're able to go for it. I think that's just a little more realistic after we had a situation the other day in the USC-UCLA game. And then the other one is going to take place, I believe, in time for the coach carousel this offseason. We're talking about allowing people to join the carousel and get a new job. There's some real poignant restrictions involved with that. There's a certain amount of wins you have to have over the previous 2 seasons. You have to be active. You have to be continuously recruiting with your team. Like, you can't be the 120th ranked recruiting class or worse, something like that. You really got to be leaving your school in a good shape. So if your school's a dumpster fire, even though you're winning games, you're not going to be able to, just jump ship as you will. So I think those are the 2 main things we're looking at next season, and just maybe some small slider changes from some stuff that we've noticed. But other than that, I think everything's going pretty well and everyone's doing a good job.
Very good stuff right there. Moving forward, putting your head coaching hat on now. Louisville is a football team that has been building since last year. And now this year you have a team that is very, very good. And obviously we're going to always talk about the quarterback, Eli Easy. The kid is absolutely phenomenal, has a lot of good, promising NFL potential. Can you talk about, his, creativity as far as being on the football field at the quarterback position, and how this team could actually be led for some success, led by him at the quarterback position?
Yeah, so we absolutely live and die by how Eli Easy does. He threw for almost 3,000 yards this season, over 30 touchdowns. The interceptions were a bit of an issue, but he's a freshman. He also ran for 500 yards, which just shows that ability. There's been a couple of times late in games where, we had one drive left with a chance to, come from behind, and he took it on his shoulders and carried the ball down the field, whether it was on his feet or through the air. So the kid's good. He's going to keep getting better. And as we keep putting athletes around him, which I'm really excited for next season, and this recruiting class that we have coming in now, we're getting some weapons that will be upgrades for him. I think the sky's the limit. He could be in the Heisman conversation one day, but at least this season, we're going to live and die with how he plays, and hopefully next year we could take a little bit off that play for him, but, it is.
Yeah, that says a lot about what Eli is able to do. And speaking of recruiting, moving forward, how are you able to bring in a lot of guys and a lot of talent around, this good football, Louisville football team? Obviously, you don't have to let us know everything because obviously there's going to be more users, GM, head coaches, fans, probably of other leagues. But can you just let us know as far as your staff, how are you able to gain a lot of recruits? And are there any names of maybe a potential wide receiver or so that you're very excited to see what he's able to do come year 3?
Yeah, man, I'm an open book. There's no secrets here. We're not the biggest school. We don't have the biggest recruiting budget, but we focus on players we think can help our program, and we give them all the attention in the world. And then once we're done there, we move on and, then we go after other players at that point. So, it's about being laser focused on who we want to get and then, moving that focus down the road as we get commits. I think it's really helped us. We finished top 20 last year. We're top 15 right now this year, and going into off-season recruiting, where we did amazing last year. We brought in Georgia's starting center to play center for us this year. We got a playmaker out of Kent State, who's been our best receiver this year. He's over 1,000 yards receiving. So there's a lot of stars to be found in the transfer portal, as you may know in Colorado, but that's always the topping on the cake. You got to go out there week in and week out and do what you can to convince players to come play for you. We got 2 5-star defensive tackles coming in, and we have a bunch of 4-star defensive ends and pass rushers coming in, and offensive linemen, because we believe in Louisville that you win and die by how the trenches play, and we're going to have one of the best defensive lines and one of the best offensive lines in the nation over the next 3 years, and we're just going to keep building there. And that's no secret.
Sounds good. So, yeah, as we get ready to close, 2 final questions. Definitely want to thank you a lot, man. We'll get to that last question at the end of this one. But as far as NFL, obviously, these kids' goals, regardless of what they say when they come to the program, as far as education-wise, their goal is to get to the next level. So as far as your program, are there any seniors, juniors, maybe, that can leave early? Any players on your team that you are aware of that could be NFL capable for this year's draft?
Yeah, we realize it's everyone's goal to get to the NFL. And we did send 5 players to the draft last year. 2 of them were drafted in the first round. So that was really great for us. And it was good to see them and get there. This year, it's a little bit of more of a younger team. We do have a couple of seniors that could be drafted. Chris Bell, our number 1 wide receiver, who put up 1,200 yards last year and is close to 1,000 yards again this year, should go in the draft at some point. And then really there's just a couple of playmakers that maybe will sign like undrafted free agent contracts with teams. But, in the future, we have a lot of players that are going to be high round picks, first, second, thirds, over the next 3-4 seasons. And it's great to watch them develop and see what they can do on the field, because they're going to help us next season and this season in the college football playoff, and we'll see where we go from there.
Absolutely. Well, I definitely want to thank you for doing this interview. Other than Jerry Jones, B1rdHuman is definitely my most exciting, person in the world, man, when it comes to interviews. We was going to do this well before the NCAA franchise, but obviously time slots got busy and we're trying to get our programs ready to go. Are there any final thoughts that you would like to say to the GFSSL League, along with those viewers out there that just enjoy listening and watching from the side? And do you have any bold predictions, whether it's for your team, a computer team? Because as I said before, there are some computer teams out there that are definitely making some wins, you know, and they're building as well. But overall, do you have any final thoughts? And we'll end it on your message.
All right, I'm going to put my commissioner hat on and then my coach hat on for a second. Commissioner hat-wise, I don't think we are going to have a single repeat national champion the entire year. Just too much talent in too many places. I also think a computer will win a CFP playoff game.